Okay, no, that's not going to be. That just makes me feel like I've taken acid. Right. No, 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 no. Make it stop. No. 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 Right. Hello, my name is Richard Grannon. What I do on the internet is I provide content. That's it, really. No, the content is typically around overcoming the effects of narcissistically abusive relationships and CPTSD, delve into some childhood trauma, sometimes look at bits and pieces of Jungian, Freudian and Adlerian psychology, but I'll talk about anything, really, provided I think it helps the people who are watching me with whatever issue it is that they have. So I might tell stories that are from my own life, or I might refer to films, or books. I might make stories up using the power of metaphor, knowing that funny, interesting or bizarre stories tend to stick inside of people's minds. And originally, when I started the project on YouTube, the idea was to see if I could make a genuine impact in the world of mental health without being preachy or didactic and just sort of chatting, really, talking, telling stories and answering questions and trying to do things in a conversational way. So, to wit, to woo, if any of you have any questions now, if you can make them one sentence long and end in a question mark, I will try and answer them. Please make them pertinent to what I've just said. Actually, if it's anything in the realm of psychology, I'll try and answer it. Alive at this hour, it's only 8:40 in Los Angeles. You have made an impact. Looking forward to your book, says Amanda. Thank you, Amanda. I appreciate that. When is your book coming out again? Depends when I write it. I bend the original draft, bend the first 80,000 words. Are you enjoying Cali? Says Nadia. With many eyes and A's. Nadia. Yes, I am. Today I got snowed on in California, which was remarkable, noteworthy experience. I have been snowed on in California at Julian, a village called Julian that produces cider and pies. I can't believe you're in LA. I'm not actually, I'm in North County. I don't know why I said LA. It's up the road. I'm in closer to Carlsbad. Anika says, I want to help people. Go ahead, Anika. You go, girl. You do that helping thing. Have you read The Discovery of the Unconscious by... No, I haven't read that, sorry. Dr. Shala said, I've been doing psychiatry for 30 years. Finally, I got it. Thank you. I don't know if that's an ironic comment. I'm glad that you're enjoying the content. Julian is lovely. Yes, he is. And so is the town. Really valued the last video on emotional literacy. Invaluable. Oh yeah, there's a new video out on my YouTube channel on emotional literacy to help you distinguish between authentic emotions and emotional flashbacks. You can check that out there, should you so wish. Nadia, remember you told me not to go back to LA from Toronto? I don't know. Where did we meet? Did we meet at a seminar? Why would I tell you that? Ehandonok is 7. You guys have great handles. Ehadonak. Okay. If you could make these a question and end in a question mark, that would be helpful. Okay. I can't sleep unless I'm listening to your podcasts. Thank you for your work. Oh, that's very kind of you. The thank you for your work was kind of you. That you can't sleep without listening to my podcast. I'm sorry about the insomnia. I suffer the same thing. Do you think the apocalypse is coming through? Well, apocalypse, the Greek word apocalypse means a revelation, a drawing back of a curtain or a veil. There's been plenty of revelations, hasn't there, in the last year, for certain. I.E. Share says, "You have helped my son quite a bit, Mr. Grannon. He listens to you often and always shares his experiences with me." Thank you. I'm glad to hear that. Shoshisalem, what is your professional opinion on triangulation? Well, it exists and people do it. It's a thing, and it works. You know, it's a strategy that has the desired effect. I think it's easy in the field of personality disorders to conflate strategy with an element of the neurosis, and many of these things we're just describing the strategies used by manipulative people, whether they have a personality disorder or not. And yes, so it certainly is a thing, and it certainly works. Jamie asks, do you think the negative emotion in the world is the growth of pain body's energy, as described by Eckhart Tolle? Yes, something like that. Something like Eckhart Tolle's description of the pain body. I probably would think of it more as being possession by the shadow in a more of a Jungian way, where that which we've disavowed has not disappeared and has come back to take the throne. That which we cast out has come back, has reinvaded silently and quietly, and is now dominating the land. More than, so Eckhart Tolle's pain body would be a description of an element of that, but really the full description would probably be the concept of the Jungian shadow, the disavowed parts of ourselves that get cast down into the cellar, and then mutate and return as some hideous monster, or they could do. Jung didn't say that, I said that. Jung didn't say anything even remotely like that. But I did. So, ha! Can you speak more about projective identification? Is it possible for us to feel the anger that someone else is feeling towards us? Is that an example of it? I suppose it could be. You've put projection and projective identification in the same box there. I never quite thought of it that way, never worded it that way, but now that you've said it, I think the answer is yeah, sure. I mean, projective identification is probably always rooted in a degree of anger and frustration and a conflict-based relationship dynamic. There's a punitive element to it. You probably would be seen as an available and useful voodoo doll for somebody else, a receptacle for somebody else's negative emotions, before the projective identification process even begins. And then they, like a voodoo doll, voodoo doll / fetish, they put into you that which they disavow in themselves. And so over time, anger would be the end result anyway, even if they weren't deliberately trying to put anger into you, because of the frustration of being boxed in by an identity that isn't yours. So it's so unfortunate that I can't use the language. I'm pretty sure the film is Boys in the Hood, where I think it's Boys in the Hood, but it's somebody who's being pestered. It was Cuba Gooding Jr. I think it was actually, being pestered and harassed by the police. And he says, if you want a criminal thug, if you keep treating me like a criminal thug, keep treating me like a degenerate, I'll give you a degenerate criminal thug. He did not use the word criminal thug. He used another word for that. And I think that's a beautiful short sentence using, modern language to describe where the frustration and exhaustion of projective identification can lead to, where eventually you give up and say, well, if I'm going to be treated this way, I might as well act this way. But that isn't projective identification. I think that's just where projective identification leads, where we say, fine, I'll just be that then. Oh, on the flip side of the coin, I suppose, I heard somebody saying the other day, if you keep calling people names and you're branding them the worst things you can possibly imagine, one possible effect of that when they give in and fold to the pressure and the stress is to go, fine, I'll be the thing that you've told me I am, which is always very sad. Oh dear, I'm afraid I must go, but I will return in about an hour's time and continue. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much for your time and for your attention. I hope that was useful, even though it was short. That's me, useful but short. And I look forward to speaking to you again very soon, hopefully in an hour. Cheers.